Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, guys. We're taking a look today at the Edmonton Oilers. We've been hearing a lot about Ryan Nugent Hopkins recently, but now we're starting to hear about some contract discussions between the Edmonton Oilers and Tyson Barrie as well. We'll be looking at both those guys today in this video. So let's get right into it. So we've got Tyson Barrie, a defenseman who they picked up in free agency last summer, right shot defenseman to replace Oscar Klefbom. Hold on. Is he a left shot defenseman? I know I'm going to get fact checked, especially you Oiler fans. You very passionate Oiler fans are very good about fact checking me, so let's make sure. Oh, he is a right shot defenseman. I was right. Right shot defenseman. They signed him last season to a $3.75 million deal, a one-year deal with the Edmonton Oilers. And it seems like he's worked out pretty well with the Oilers. He's had a really good season. He struggled a little bit last year with the Leafs, was traded from the Avalanche 2 years ago from the Avalanche, where he was drafted, spent a long time in Colorado, was traded to the Leafs, and things didn't work out. Signed with the Oilers on a one-year prove-it deal, and he's worked out well. And this was supposed to be just a short-term experiment. Especially in the case of Oscar Klefbom being out of the lineup. They had some extra cap space. He needed a place to go. It was a perfect fit. Now the question is, long-term, does he fit for this team? Because we've heard that they want to, keep Adam Larsson around. We've heard negotiations with Adam Larsson between 4 and 4.5 for Larsson per year. So does that mean they don't keep Tyson Barrie? Tyson Barrie, 29 years old, in his prime right now. And he is a guy that's going to be attractive in the free agency market, especially as a defenseman. Teams are going to look at Tyson Barrie and say he's worth at least $5 or $6 million. Do the Oilers have that money? And that's maybe why they're deciding between, it's cheaper to pay Larsson 4 and 4.5. He's not that much different than Barrie that it's worth, saving that 1.5 to 2 million per season in keeping Larsson over Tyson Barrie. And that seems to be the direction the Oilers are going in, because based off what we've heard from hockey insiders, they have been pretty close, locked in on it. And, according to Darren Drager, the sense is that Tyson Barrie will test the free agent market. He wants to stay in Edmonton, but for a 5 or 6 year term, which means he's going to look for that higher end deal per year as well. And the Oilers don't have the money. That's the unfortunate side of it. And he'll probably go somewhere like New Jersey or Arizona or maybe even Winnipeg, where they need some defensemen. I think he could fit in well with those franchises. But it's going to be tough to see Tyson Barrie go. It was just a great marriage between the two this season, and unfortunately, an inevitable breakup after 1 year. So he had a good time in Edmonton. He's going to try and win a Stanley Cup with the Oilers this year. But it does seem like the time is ticking on his time in Edmonton. And now moving on to maybe not better news either, even more grim news. Their former first overall pick, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, doesn't seem like he will be sticking around either. Again, salary has been the big problem. And the problem is, too, they only have $24 million in cap space this summer. And when you're signing Adam Larsson and guys like Jesse Puljujarvi, Kailer Yamamoto coming up, you just don't. That money adds up very quickly. So that's something that they're going to have to figure out, and unfortunately, it may come at the cost of guys like Ryan Nugent Hopkins and Tyson Barrie. That's kind of how this hockey thing works. So looking at Ryan Nugent Hopkins, former first overall pick, which is insane, back in 2011. He signed a deal in 2013 with the Oilers. Excuse me. He signed a 7-year, $42 million contract, which would pay him $6 million per season. That was a very fair contract at the time. It seemed high, but looking at what he's become for the Oilers, probably the best third-line center in the NHL. And he's been playing on the second line a lot with either Draisaitl or playing with McDavid on the top line, depending on how things work. He's been a very reliable player. He can play center, can play wing, and he's just a very talented. He's consistently, can score goals. Teams around the league are going to like him. I think the LA Kings are a team that would really be keen on him. Maybe even a team like Arizona. But I think Ryan Nugent Hopkins will have no problem finding a contract where he can make between 7 and 7.5 per year for, 7 or 8, probably 7 years at 7 or 7 years at 7.5 per year. He could definitely get that contract. Whoa, the Mets got spanked today. But anyway, back to Nugent Hopkins. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's sticking around either, unfortunately. Again, the cap, they don't have the money to keep these guys around, unfortunately, and that seems to be how it looks. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that the Oilers are going to, it seems like pretty much a foregone conclusion. They aren't keeping Tyson Barrie, so maybe it gives them more time to focus their attention on guys like Nuge. Do you think they keep Nuge? Do you think he goes to LA or Arizona? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, more videos like this one, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And an even bigger subscribe down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And let's go, Oilers.